If you think you're selling, then I've got news for you. You really are. Absolutely. If you think you're selling, you're darn well selling. Okay. And I can tell you there is nothing worse than being involved with or listening to or the subject of a terrible sales pitch. You see, if you think you're selling, then there's a pretty darn good chance that you're trying to persuade somebody, you're trying to convince somebody to do something that maybe you don't even believe in. Now, that's pretty tough, I know, but that can happen to many people. And then that's the reason why they don't like sales, for goodness sake, because they're trying to do something they don't like, they don't believe in, and its whole thing is, made up and fake, right? So in this video today, I want to share with you some ideas and thoughts about how you can actually sell even if you hate sales. Okay, I'm going to try and convince you that you can do that. Here, convince, all right? Thank you very much, Peter Carr, for joining me. Isan, good to see you. Thank you so much, Mark Davis, Lynette Chang, Danny, good to see you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much indeed. Okay, Glenda, thank you. Nicole, good to see you too. Thank you very much. All right, so this whole sales business, right? Okay, how to sell when you hate sales. Well, one of the reasons you hate sales is because of the following fears, more than likely, okay? More than likely. Glenda, good morning, good evening to me. Thanks, Glenda. Okay. First of all, one of the fears you may have is being too pushy, okay? Being too pushy. That could be a fear. You don't like being pushed, you don't like being pushy. And if you think and you believe that you have to be pushy to be in sales, then you're going to hate sales. Totally understand that. And I'm going to show you how you don't have to do that. Secondly, not being able to get your prospects to see the real value of what you have to offer. That's a challenge and a fear of many people involved in sales. They can't get their prospects to see the real value of what you're trying to give them, all right? Now, there's a reason for that, and I'll show you in a minute. Well, I'll show you right now. One of the reasons they don't see the value for it is because you haven't found out enough about them to identify whether, in fact, what you're offering them is appropriate, pertinent, and relevant. Come back to that. Next one. One of the fears you might have, because many other people have, are fears about being rejected on price. Now, either the price can be too low or too high. If it's too low, be careful. If you're discounting a lot of stuff to people, right, then I can tell you, you don't get a lot of loyalty from your customer. They're buying you on price, right? And as soon as something else comes along that's a cheaper price, see you later, Peter, they're gone, right? They're gone. If the price is too high, this is another fear you might have in terms of sales, is because you feel uncomfortable trying to get people to pay for an amount of money in your mind is pretty darn high. Let's say it's $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $20,000, whatever it is. If you can't get your head around that, that really means you can't see the value in that price either. And if you can't see the value in that price, neither will your prospect. And that's exactly why that fear is damn real, because it's true. You are delivering subconsciously messages to your prospect that this is a pretty darn high price. I hate to pay for it because I'll get the commission, but holy dooly, this is expensive. That's the thing you're feeling. That's what you're believing, and it's coming through in different ways. Be careful, right? Be careful. Another thing is really how to get the whole sales conversation started. Okay? Some people have difficulty with that, and I understand why. What do you say? How do you get them started? Right? Well, do me a favor. First of all, have a pattern interrupt. In other words, say hello, be natural, be authentic, show that you are imperfect. I mean, I told people another day in a video, one of the things I've been using, Kath, thank you for joining. David, thank you for joining too. One of the things I've been using to start conversations, right, with people is the fact we had a snake in the office here, right? Scared the living daylights out of me, right? And I was talking to these potential customers for my coaching program about this snake, right? And we had a laugh about it, and they could see that I'm imperfect and vulnerable and scared of snakes, etc. But it broke the whole thing up. And that's how I started the conversation. Do not think you have to start a sales conversation talking about sales. Don't do that. And I'll come back to that before we finish, all right? So now, with those fears, Think about this. These fears are only negative if you don't learn from them. These are three. I'm going to give you some smart ways to handle these sales in a minute, but let me tell you this. You need to learn. Sorry, get this right, Peter. You need to listen first to what the prospect is telling you, okay? Then you need to learn from the mistakes that you've made, and then you need to leverage, in other words, learn what you've got and implement what you've learned as you go along and consistently improve the way you communicate with your potential customers. Listen, learn, and leverage, okay? If you do that, then these fears that you've had and the mistakes that you've had, because we all make mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes, and you will continue to do that. Don't become the perfect salesperson, because if you do, you'll be talking to yourself and you'll have no friends and you'll have no money either, right? So listen, learn, and leverage. Now, here's some points. Please, if you're not sure about sales in any way, just jot these down. The first thing is stop selling. Stop selling psychologically, mentally. Stop selling and start serving. Stop selling and start serving. Huge, huge difference, okay? Andrew, thank you for joining, mate. Thank you. Number 2. Believe 110% that what you are doing is of value to your prospect. 110% believe it. If you don't believe what you're offering, you don't have a right to even offer it. And if you're offering it, you're a fake. And if you're going to be a fake, I can tell you, you're going to be a failure in your role. So believe 110% in what you're offering. And if you don't know what that means, go back and understand and find out what your particular offer is all about, the terms and conditions, the facts and the features, all that stuff, right? But then put it away and work out how that can make a different outcome for your potential prospect. That's all they want to know. They're not interested in your product. They're not interested in the terms and conditions, in the price and all that sort of stuff, right? Really what they want to know is, how can you change their situation and solve their problem and give them a better outcome than what they've got now? Whatever you've got, if you can do it, fine. Don't give them all the ins and outs. Quick story, be quick, I know. I don't want to lose you. Hang in there with me, right? Quick story. If you take your car to the garage for a service, right? When the car's finished, and they call you that it's been finished, you say, thanks very much. What questions would you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you it's a rhetorical statement. The questions you'd probably ask is, how much did it cost? Was there any major problems with it? Okay, etc. Right? That's what you'd probably ask. Would you ever ask what size spanner they used? Of course you wouldn't, right? Same thing with your prospects. They aren't the slightest bit interested in the ins and outs of your product features and benefits. They just want to know whether they'll do the darn job. And if they'll do the job, will it fit within their budget? So stick with those things. Very, very important, right? Next one, value every day and every person, the prospects you meet, as a privileged opportunity to help and share some value. This is very important. Even if you're struggling right now in sales, you can still add value to people if you're prepared to listen to them, okay? Not sell them, serve them, okay? And what you need to do is purely appreciate the privilege you have of being able to listen and help and serve somebody else. If you have this mindset, I can tell you things are going to change for you on the sales front very, very quickly. I better get moving quickly. I'm hanging on too long. Next, set goals that you can achieve. Don't worry about the superstars. You set your goals for you. You're not trying to achieve anyone else's goals, just yours. And set, I don't want to go through a whole goal setting exercise, but set a goal that gives you a bit of a stretch without making it impossible. Let's make it simple, right? Do that. Because you want to be able to achieve the goal and build your confidence, right? That's all part of the deal. Next, I've told you before about never selling on price. Don't do that. I'll leave that, right? What you need to do more than anything else now, once you've got those basics in place, did I cover all my points? I've just checked in up there. Oh, I left one out. Beg your pardon. Yeah, I had to check the notes to make sure I got. Accept the fact that you won't appeal to everybody. Not everyone will accept you. I'm not saying that you're going to start collecting no's. All I'm saying is if you approach this in the right way, nearly everybody will listen to you because you're trying to be genuinely help them, right? But they won't all say yes to your offer. Don't take that personally. Don't take it personally. They will respect what you did. They will respect the time you spent with them. They respect the fact you listened to them. But because the offer, for whatever reason, wasn't suitable, they said no to you, you say thank you and you move on. But you can sleep well at night time. You know you haven't disturbed them. You know you haven't been a pain in the butt. And you know you haven't done any sort of pitching to them that makes them feel uncomfortable. And to be quite frank, they would more than likely still give you a reference and a referral to somebody else. Now, what I want you to do is this. Nearly finished, folks. Hang in there. I want you to think about what you're doing, what you're all about, okay? Remember I told you it's serving, not selling, right? Now, if you just think of the outcomes that you can achieve for your prospects, if you just focus on that, okay, nothing else, the outcomes that your target audience are looking for, if you can focus on delivering outcomes that your potential customers can see real value in, then you're in a really, really powerful situation, okay? So I want you to write this down, okay? Here's the old school teacher coming out of me, excuse me. Write this down, okay? Authentic selling comes from a place where you truly believe that the service you can provide is a solution to someone else's problem. I want to say it again because this is something you really need to get in your mindset. Authentic selling comes from a place where you believe that the service you can provide is a solution to someone else's problem. Focus on that, help people with that, and I can tell you, then it's not sales at all. It's not sales at all. What it is, you're having a natural conversation with somebody, okay? And it's a win-win situation. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you sell without selling. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you sell even if you hated sales, because you cannot hate the fact of having a conversation with somebody that is genuinely appreciative of the help and the interest you are showing in them. That is my message for you. I hope you got some help with that, because I really, really want people to rethink this whole sales thing. Don't worry about trying to overcome all these objections and smart scripts and that sort of stuff. You come from the heart. Come from the head, from a mindset of helping, and I can tell you 90% of your sales fears will dissipate. Now, being a good salesperson, I've got a call to action for you. Here is my call to action. Hang in there for me, right? If you need some help, okay, if you're watching this on Facebook, on live or on replay, then send me a personal message. If you're watching this on YouTube, because I'll put it up there as well, leave me a comment. If you need some help, then I have a complimentary sales skills session. Complimentary means cost you nothing, right? Just some time, your time and my time. 15 minutes, that's all I can do, right? But if you're interested in that, send me a personal message to set up a complimentary sales skills session. Not strategy, none of this highfalutin stuff. This is down to earth, Reggie Ditch, simple ways that you can be more comfortable to promote whatever you're trying to promote. That's what I'm trying to do. Stress-free, comfortable ways of you giving your product opportunity to your potential prospects. If you're interested, send me a personal message, all right? In the meantime, thank you very much indeed. Philip, good to see you. Just joined, eh? Philip and Andrew and Catherine and David and Keith, Glenda, everybody, thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. Best wishes and many blessings from Thailand, and I'll talk to you in the very near future. Take care. Bye for now.